Thanks, Shaun. Well, it's got all the makings of a classic. Let's join our boys in the box for this one. Neil Folds, and first up, the voice of snooker, the brilliant Clive Everton.
So it's defending Premier League champion versus 8 times Premier League champion. £30,000 for the winner, £15,000 for the loser, and that's to add to the £29,000 at £1,000 per frame and per century that O'Sullivan won in the group stage, and the £21,000 that Murphy won. Not a seat to be had for the unnumbered seats queuing outside the venue. Well, inside the venue, but outside the arena. There was a great long queue as early as 5 o'clock.
Yes, and a real buzz in here tonight, Clive, no doubt about that. This is the final, and introductions were superb. I expect a great match. Well, he's very attacking. He was a mile away from that. He might have been very fortunate if that brown has covered the red to the top right, because he was a pretty reckless shot actually.
It was certainly a pretty tough long red that Murphy attempted at his first visit to the table.
I think if there's any nerves in here tonight, someone like Shaun Murphy, when he is nervous, he doesn't really shirk the issue, he really takes shots on, and O'Sullivan is in the same mould really. If they feel under pressure, they continue to attack.
Well, last evening Murphy was 73% success rate for long pots. That's over a distance of 6 feet or more.
And that's a high percentage, Clive, isn't it, as you say? Funnily enough, that is the one aspect of O'Sullivan's game which sometimes is lacking. I think he'll admit that himself.
Thank you.
Caught that too thick.
I think we've already discovered that this is a different day, because O'Sullivan's save was immaculate last night. This was horribly misjudged really, almost to going off.
Time out.
Murphy takes the first of the 7 timeouts he's permitted in this best of 13 frames final. O'Sullivan was extremely fortunate not to leave anything from his misjudged safety. Round behind the back of the brown maybe.
It's not a bad safety. There is that red that you can see to the right corner, which might be the kind of shot that Shaun Murphy is almost forced into going for. I think the safety shot is almost more difficult. Not quite as easy as it looks on that shot. But crunched in. The problem was position. And Saw the cue ball swing a bit wide. Is he on the black though? Would be a bit of a bonus. Don't think that's the case.
Ramble. Shaun Murphy 1.
Well, that pot was not all that difficult, but there was distance involved, and he played it slowly against the nap of the cloth, about a quarter ball cut.
That was a good long pot from O'Sullivan. It didn't play it with any pressure on because he played the cue ball back to bulk, so that always helps if you're slightly in doubt of your long game. Both players very keen to settle here. That clearly there are a little bit of nerves jangling, and that's already been apparent in the few shots we've seen.
Nothing worth attempting. There was a possible red at the edge of the bunch, but certainly missable, and position couldn't be guaranteed.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 6.
Pretty cagey opening.
Well, it was a shot that Shaun Murphy almost allowed him to play from the previous safety that he tried. But there is nothing available by way of a colour, so off the cushion onto the brown to lay the snooker behind the green is the shot here.
Ronnie
Hit
O'Sullivan
that a bit harder and push the cue ball further in behind the green, but it's perfectly safe.
The two cannons slowed the cue ball down. Shaun Murphy, UK champion 2 years ago. The UK Championship, of course, starting next Saturday, when Ronnie O'Sullivan will be trying to win it for the 5th time to celebrate his 35th birthday.
Played that with a touch of right hand side there, just to avoid hitting a red on the way back. Now these reds are very open now. This really is a dangerous pot to take on, one that he really has to get to the left corner. Deserves to be on the colour.
1.
Well, he's got a shot on the blue. Very strong part of his game, this, his long game.
6.
So the first clear-cut chance arrives.
To be content with blue and pink for scoring balls at the moment. Even the black is not available at this stage into either corner pocket. Does look a good chance. Table slightly messy with the bolt colours away from their spot. How about that? That is can only be nerves and tension. Miss.
Well, Murphy doesn't look nervous, but that was just a potting malfunction, which can only be explained by nerves.
One.
And it could prove a very costly mistake.
Seven.
I think just Ronnie finding if there is a place on the table he can get onto the black to the right corner. That would certainly help matters if he could get that ball into play.
8.
Maybe not from that shot, but maybe later on in the break he could possibly bring the black into open play.
If O'Sullivan does win the frame at this visit, it will hurt Murphy because he had first chance. When you lose a frame,
14.
it's harder to take if you know that you've had a reasonable chance to win it than if you've had no chance.
That was a really good shot on the red because he finished much too straight on it. Didn't look to be any angle there, but he found one.
Awkward.
21.
Yeah, completely agree, Clive. This is, I mean, the red to the right corner will pot, but queuing over the other red, he can do nothing with the cue ball. Oh, this is ambitious if he plays this to the top left. And that is a marvellous shot. Absolutely marvellous shot.
28. 29. 36.
35 in front.
37. 44.
Not quite there yet, getting close. This red he's got to give a bit of attention to. But once again, the cue ball control was very, very good there. He has dropped out of position a couple of times, but he's made very quick recoveries in this break. Just the red needed.
52. 53.
So as Murphy would have feared when he missed that easy ball,
60.
O'Sullivan has won the frame from it.
61.
I think Murphy is possibly still conscious that it's O'Sullivan that he's playing, whereas O'Sullivan is more likely to forget who he's playing
68.
and just play the balls, which he says that is always his objective.
69.
Yeah, I mean that's the right way to play, just to play the table and the balls. But you know, it's not always that easy, is it, to follow that through in a great atmosphere like we've got tonight. Really looking to develop the green and make the century a possibility, but that yellow, I'm not sure quite how he's going to pop
74. Foul. Ronnie O'Sullivan 74, Shaun Murphy 4. Frame Ronnie O'Sullivan.
But O'Sullivan made 74 with an air of utter certainty to lead by a frame to nil. The opening frame turned on Shaun Murphy, missing that absolutely basic pink, and that was the key shot in O'Sullivan's 74 break, which secured the opening frame.
Second frame, Shaun Murphy to break.
That's the one thing that you never want to do at this game. Whatever you do, don't hit the blue. That's what they say on those break-off shots. Definite nerves from Shaun Murphy, the defending champion tonight.
All reds covered. Sure about that. I guess he came at a quick look at that one, but there it is again. If it was on, it's on. It's a 3-ball plant. Sullivan didn't apologise, so I'm assuming he knew it was there. I think he put a bit of extra attention into the pop there. Didn't try and get too far down the table, but he's one shot away here, you feel, from being right in amongst them. And that was the shot that has really given him a chance now. Already, from Murphy's point of view, there are ominous signs that O'Sullivan is in peak form.
15.
Yes, and that Shaun would certainly need to get a foothold into this match before Ronnie starts to run away with it. It is early days, but you just know he's in good form.
And it always helps if you have
22.
a bit of good running, which O'Sullivan did have there. Could so easily have knocked that red into the right middle.
Funnily enough, the next pot is not actually that easy. He's got a thin cut, queuing awkwardly here. Clock is ticking down. He's just going to be able to play the shot in good time. Didn't have much idea where the cue ball was going, and that's
23.
Another part of the shot that was a problem. The other question is, will the blue pass the red? It must be fairly tight, I would think, to the middle pocket. Well, that's half a pocket from that angle. Well, he made it look very easy, didn't he? That looked like a full pocket to you, Clive, that you could see that into?
It didn't.
Also played that very well. He knew that if he bounced up too far, wouldn't have been on the next ball. Very big buzz of expectation here tonight at Potter's Resort.
Well, I was expecting great things of O'Sullivan tonight as well. Not least because in his after-match interview
37.
yesterday, almost for the first time that I can remember, he expressed himself very pleased with his performance and with how he'd been practicing. He's incredibly difficult to please as far as his own
44.
performances are concerned, but
45.
he feels that he's playing very, very well, and tonight he's proving it, as he did last night.
Yes, I agree with that. I mean, Ronnie never ceases to surprise you with
52.
his interviews and what he says, but the biggest surprise of all was that he said that he was playing well. I expected anything but that, really. And it was a half decent chance when he came to the table, but within a few shots he had the reds lined up exactly where he wanted them and the black on its spot. So a slightly edgy start, but he really is motoring now already.
61.
The reds are just spread like a practice session here. You'd probably walk into the club and just spread them just to get a few shots under your belt. That's where they are now. The frame is virtually over.
68. $69. $76.
Awkward queuing for his intended red, but he can get to the middle of the cue ball for this one.
77. $81. 82.
Well, take a picture of that. You don't always see 100% pot success, even from one of the greats of the game like O'Sullivan.
$89. 90.
O'Sullivan in pursuit of his 9th century of the competition.
$95. 96.
6 in the round robin stage, 2 last evening.
Yeah, just thinking about the group stages, he's
104.
actually bottom of the league after 3 matches for a short while, a couple of weeks into it. He hadn't won any of his 3, drawn them all, but it all changed and he remains unbeaten still this year.
109.
The group stages, and of course what we've seen over this weekend.
111.
There is a challenge if he's going to make this into a total clearance. The pink and position for black.
114.
Maybe he intended to leave the angle on the brown in such a way that he could cannon the pink, but he didn't manage it, so the problem
118.
remains.
$123.
Well, it's some sort of double to the top left, I assume.
There's a beauty in precision, and that was beautiful. O'Sullivan's break of 123 takes him into a 2-0 lead. Premier League final, best of 13. Ronnie O'Sullivan's breaks of 74 and 123 have taken him into a 2-0 lead.
The third frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Murphy still struggling to get out of the traps.
Once again though, he always feels the best form of getting yourself out of the traps is to really attack, because he went for a pretty ambitious one there. Now he pots good long balls, but when you've been sitting in your chair they become twice as difficult.
And the way he played it, he was sure to leave this one if he missed.
Sort of the point I was making earlier on really was that some players, when they're under pressure in a match like this and not really firing, will go into their shell and just kind of wait for good things to happen. That's not really how Murphy plays. He does like to continue taking the shots on, which I think is the right policy, but playing O'Sullivan in great form and you're just watching him. That last pot looked very difficult to me and he didn't get that close to it.
No spot available for the pink, so it goes as near as possible to it in a straight line between the pink and black spots.
Just making sure that he can get low enough with the cue ball to pot the red into the opposite corner pocket.
$15. $16.
I think that might have been quite tight actually. I think that's possibly as much as the red he could have hit. Nothing obvious there after the split.
23.
Nothing goes at short range, except maybe a plant.
Yeah, so he's discovered one, hasn't he, here from nowhere. but that was not one of his best efforts, to be fair. Little rueful smile from Ronnie to realise how far he missed it by.
This is the sort of chance from which Murphy must make an impact, otherwise this match is going to run away from him.
I think Ronnie was very disappointed to have missed that plant in the way that he did, because he knows it's just the chance that Shaun needs to make some kind of an impact.
Seven. Eight. $15.
Murphy currently stands 4th in the world rankings, and that's partly because he's played in all 12 minor ranking events which have been added to the calendar this season, winning one, runner-up in another, and 2 semi-finals have been his best finishes. Whereas O'Sullivan, who's played in only 2 of those events, has dropped down the rankings to 8th.
24.
Which shows that you shouldn't take too much notice of rankings, I guess.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. That's. I think you'll find that Ronnie's a little bit better than the world number 8, as we're seeing tonight.
$29.
Well. If there's a shot that you feel that he would never miss, it would be that kind of a shot, slightly mid-range, just with his very good cue action, but he rattled it.
His second bad miss of the match.
1.
Yes, and Ronnie leapt out of his chair. He knows this is a great chance to extend his lead. Well, it seems that red goes actually to the left of the 4, which is handy. Might develop something here. See, that shot was much cleverer than it looked, in that he just developed 2 reds out onto the right, and everything's open now straight away.
O'Sullivan's got so much touch, so much skill round the bunch.
16.
He's so good at opening a bunch out
17.
without hitting the ball hard.
And you'd think he can probably win the frame with the 4 reds that are in the middle of the table. The one on the left is probably going to be
24.
the last, and by the time he takes that, the frame should be won.
$25.
Well, just checking the scores, you'll find that out, that he's quite close to winning it now with the open reds. $30. See, Ronnie just changed his mind about 3 or 4 times on that shot there. It's the one thing they tell you, that you need to get up and start again. But Ronnie able to make the adjustment. Tried to make things easy for himself by playing on a bulk colour, so that the red up the table would be comfortable position.
Just red and a colour needed then.
Just again, Ronnie just checking the scores to realise, as Clive said, frame ball this, and a chance to get in behind the final red just to absolutely clinch it.
So as he did in the opening frame, O'Sullivan exacts the ultimate punishment
50
from Murphy's
52.
bad mistake.
$55. 59. Wow.
Well,
Sullivan 59.
He thought he might as well try and get position on the pin via the top jaw of the middle pocket, but by then it was far too late to matter. The break of 59 extended O'Sullivan's lead to 3-0. Murphy was going quite nicely on 29 in the last frame when he missed that easy ball. O'Sullivan made 59 from that mistake to increase his lead to 3-0.
Yes, and he looked quite bewildered by it at the time. Just to say, how on earth did I miss that one? These are the great players, miss balls. Sometimes I think because their concentration is elsewhere, maybe a few shots down the line. Against this man, you just can't afford to miss those.
Not actual. Frame 4, Shaun Murphy to break.
Murphy had better start soon, otherwise he might not be able to start at all.
Yeah, I mean, there is a history of some one-sided finals courtesy of Ronnie O'Sullivan in this tournament. A couple of whitewashes along the way. So, you know, if he does get this lead and it continues, then really he could run away with this.
Murphy knew that was dangerous, but felt that he had to take it. He knew that he would be leaving the red to the left of the pink if he missed it.
And didn't he miss it? That was miles away. This red is not straightforward.
That's brought O'Sullivan's pot success rate down to a mere 98%. Plant which almost dropped. The plant was attempted in such a way that he wasn't leaving O'Sullivan a red if it didn't drop in. Murphy intended to have the cue ball tighter to the cushion.
Very thin pot, and again the cue ball was under no control, but it's worked out very well. This is where you always feel that Ronnie is so dangerous. At the moment this looks like a chance to make 40, but within half a dozen shots he might have manipulated the situation whereby everything is open. That's where he is so good. Mind you, that was not one of his best positional shots.
For no apparent reason, he leaves the cue ball much closer to the cushion than he intended.
Just a bit of extra concentration needed on this. Yeah, it's the kind of shot that you don't feel that Ronnie is all that at ease with playing, really. Just to drop it in, he couldn't do anything with the cue ball. He's still disappointed about the shot before, really.
Murphy can't get going.
One. Five. Six.
Well, he just could play that into the pack, not guaranteed, but it's a way of opening them if he chooses to. I think that's what he did play, but he didn't judge it all that well.
Eight. Time out.
O'Sullivan claims his first time out, the first of the 7 that he's permitted.
Yeah, interesting that he chose to use one here, because you'd have felt that if he was going to play the safety shot, it would have been something he could have played in 2 or 3 seconds, just glance off the reds. So I wonder if he's thinking about taking a pot on. There is one to the left centre, but that's not easy. And there's also one up to the top left pocket. So that's why he took the time out, because he's looking to continue the break. He made it look very simple, but it wasn't, I can assure you. Now I think the red at the bottom of the little cluster will pot, which opens up a few others.
12.
Just a bit of work on for the colour. Just looked at maybe the black, the pink won't pot. Again, you just feel it's just one pot away here from
Timeout.
winning the frame, and the second time out in the break. So he's putting plenty into this little contribution. Looks like the blue. It's again hard to control the cue ball from this, and this pot will need some attention.
Even so,
18.
he's unlucky not to have finished better than that.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 18.
I think Murphy can consider that a let-off, not because O'Sullivan missed that long red, because he was pretty unlucky with the positional cannon in potting the blue.
One. Four. Five.
Slightly edgy shot you felt there on the pink, but with awkward cueing. Good shot, good little shot to keep the break alive. But really, this is the moment which Shaun Murphy
11.
needs to get his game back together. Needs to win the frame from this. 4-0 down. Looks very bad under the circumstances.
12.
The circumstances being that Ronnie O'Sullivan is playing very well.
$18. 19.
Well, it's a good chance, but there are one or two slight hurdles. That red is the nuisance red, really. It's covering the black, and it's not potable to the left corner, so it will be shortly when this red's down. He needs to get that red play and get the black open. No, he got a bad contact there. That's all he needed.
26.
He's actually on the pink, but it was a definite kick.
32.
We just had a look at that red that's by the black, the one that I mentioned, and I think it actually will pot. So that's his best chance of winning the frame from this visit if he can get on it at some point. Oh, he must have taken his eye off that one, Clive.
Shaun Murphy, 32.
That's the third easy ball that Murphy has missed in this final.
Yeah, and these are like 99 out of 100 shots, aren't they, for someone of this standard?
One. Seven. Eight. Fourteen. 15.
O'Sullivan can cannon the red now, potting the pink.
Not the best of evidence actually, was it? It looked a certainty, Clive, to just push it into open play. So this is now quite difficult, this red. I just feel that this is a very crucial frame now. It's a scrappy frame, that's the first thing, and they all count, but really Shaun Murphy desperately wants to win this one.
Not as easy as some of the balls he's missed, but Murphy would normally pot that.
Unfortunately, the easy misses that keep going and going astray, they play on your mind. And shots like the last one, which were not that easy, but you'd fancy him for, just got that doubt there from what's happened previous shots.
And you can see how fiercely determined O'Sullivan is to win this frame. If Murphy could win it, despite all the mistakes he's made, it would boost his confidence and would of course avert the fear of the dreaded whitewash.
It shouldn't be difficult to hit, it's just a question of the speed he plays it at, really, just pushing it up the table. And I think he'll be delighted with that shot. Once again, it's the kind of shot that Shaun Murphy does not like to refuse, but this is the one he needs to get. He missed an awful lot of these so far.
What a difference a day makes for Murphy. Hardly missed a ball last evening, and he ended the match on 464 unanswered points. Today, as the phrase goes, you can't pot a ball.
Time out.
But well, the game has never changed in that capacity, has it? You know, you never quite know what's coming next. Sometimes, after a really good performance, there's only one way you can go, and that's down. And if he doesn't get out of this snooker, then he's in all sorts of bother. It's not an easy one by any stretch of the imagination, this.
And it's not the sort of escape from which you can play a glancing escape. Cue ball and red likely to still be pretty close together, even if he does make contact.
Well, it's one of these snookers that'll be quite interesting, should he miss it, whether Paul Collier decides that this is going to be a miss, because I think this is a mighty difficult one to hit. Of course, he could do with getting close to it or hitting it. This is a very difficult one. And what's the verdict going to be?
Foul for the miss, Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
I think that's a hard snooker, personally, I've got to say that.
I agree, Neil, but I guess the contrary argument would be, why should the non-offender get a lesser penalty from leaving a tough snooker than an easier one?
Something like that is what he's playing with the spider. Something like that, it would slide off the bottom cushion or the side cushion, the last of those. That's what he's aiming for. Great shot.
When Sky broadcast the one-frame shootout in January, there won't be any misrule. It will be ball in hand for the non-offender anywhere he chooses after any foul by his opponent.
8.
A rule borrowed
10.
from Poole.
Thirteen.
Not such a dominant frame from O'Sullivan, a scrappy frame even, but Murphy still made
22.
more mistakes and also had the worst of the safety exchanges.
28.
So different way to go about it, but the result is still the same. Frame to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan leads by 4 frames to 0. Ronnie O'Sullivan made breaks of 74, 123 and 59 in the first 3 frames, and finished off the last one with 35, although frame ball came much earlier than that. A frame in which Shaun Murphy had plenty of chances but couldn't take them.
Take your seats quickly, please. Okay, Ronnie. Thank you, frame 5. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Best player that's ever played the game, according to Neil Robertson, the world champion, whom O'Sullivan beat 5-1 last evening. Not the most prolific winner of titles. Stephen Hendry indisputably top in that department. 36 world ranking titles to O'Sullivan's 22. But when O'Sullivan is on song, he's got something that the others haven't got.
Once again, Shaun Murphy with a long pot. These long pots really haven't been going in at all tonight. That's better, that's more like it. 1.
Big crowd, capacity crowd, and they've come to see both players play, but only O'Sullivan has so far.
Eight.
So no doubt a bit of a stun run through on this to, well, he can play on the black if he wants to. And struck with more authority. I never really thought he'd miss it, but he has, as we've mentioned, missed some of those shots. But it is a long match and there is still time. That might be alright. But to the left centre.
22.
Quite split as he expected.
Murphy appears to be doing what you're supposed to do. Forget the score, forget that you're 4-0 down. You can only win one frame at a time,
28.
one shot at a time.
I think he got a bad contact there, given referee Paul Collier something to do in addition to his other tasks by getting the cue ball cleaned.
$29.
Come around two cushions here into the reds. Missed them all and gone. Can you believe that? Can you believe it? There's not a very big gap there, Clive.
29, Ronnie O'Sullivan 5.
Well, when you're struggling, fate has a way of giving you another kick in the teeth. How on earth did he come through the bunch and land the cue ball in the middle pocket?
It's a fairly acute angle actually, that pot, and Ronnie played it quite firmly.
Certainly wasn't easy. Again, a ball that Murphy would normally pot. In 24 hours, his confidence seems to have gone from 100% to somewhere near zero.
Well, the fact is he's got another shot like this into the left corner. He's just checking to see if the black will pot, so he is staying with it, staying with the shots that have made him the player he is. Unfortunately, his strong point shots tonight, the trademark shots, definitely have not been going in. And this is one of them. And to be honest with you, he cued it particularly badly for him. Cue didn't go through straight.
Go on, Ronnie. Go on, Ronnie. Go on, Ronnie.
Cue didn't come through straight here. There, you saw it, came off his bridge hand. Not a good sign.
Sometimes when the cue comes off the bridge hand, it's a sign that you're gripping it too tight, which is a symptom of anxiety.
Six. Seven. Fourteen. Fifteen. $20.
Well, there were a few concerns whether Murphy could play as well as he did last evening, but we certainly didn't believe that he would play as poorly as he has. O'Sullivan, in contrast, has played just as well as he did last night.
Just fractionally too far for the next red. It's still very potable,
27.
but probably take on a different red now, the one to the left corner. Just needed a
28.
recovery shot in position, which he's got. You'd expect the frame to hinge around those three reds that are close together. Currently none of them pot.
34.
Ronnie's had a quick glance at them. Not sure what his plan of attack will be.
35.
I think he wanted to get a slight angle, but he hasn't got it on the pink to disturb them. It's not on. I think he just wanted to be slightly above straight on this so he could just run into the three reds. You see from that, just isn't on. So it will have to be with the next colour, otherwise the break will come to an end.
41.
Those three reds are locked together.
42.
Well, that's not an angle on the pink to take the cue ball directly into the three reds.
Maybe something from the blue though. It's good effort, but the black was in the way, unfortunately.
47. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 47.
Couldn't pot anything, but has played the safety to an immaculate length. Murphy's best pot of the evening. It also developed another red to a better position.
Doesn't look very good for the red up the table. Yeah, it was always a problem. I don't think the angle was quite there. He's got something at long range, which again he almost certainly will not refuse. But that's been the story of the evening. They've been rattling
Shaun Murphy 6.
in the jaws, those shots, all the way through the match.
No attempt at the pot. O'Sullivan in ruthless mode. 4-0 up, but not taking any unnecessary risks.
Dangerous shot to play. The red going close to a pocket, needs some cover. He hasn't got it.
Left-handed.
I was going to say that's a tremendous shot left-handed for a right-handed player.
3.
Things looking
4.
very ominous here. Just the way the match has gone, just the way that Shaun Murphy's trademark shots are just not going in. Strong shots staying out. Ronnie looking like he wants to just run away with this and get his revenge. Lots to think about for Murphy. Got to find his game first of all.
Eight.
That simple green
11.
guarantees O'Sullivan a 5-0 lead.
15.
It's going to take an extraordinary reversal of fortune if Murphy's going to get back into this match.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 15 and the frame.
5-0 to O'Sullivan then, within 2 frames of recapturing the Premier League title.
Well, how about this? Ronnie O'Sullivan 5, Shaun Murphy 0. It feels like we've been there before, because of course we have. O'Sullivan has completed whitewashes in the final of this tournament before, and the way that Shaun Murphy is missing balls, he could well complete a whitewash again.
Thank you.
But
frame 6.
when you're talking about a player
Shaun
of
Murphy
Shaun
to
Murphy's calibre, a fight back can never be discounted.
What Shaun didn't want, a bad break or shot, allowing Ronnie to take on that red.
1.
Okay, he's lost the wise a little bit, but he's got the yellow to the centre, and the mood that he's in, I think he might take it on. just missed it.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 1.
Well, this is the time now, really, that Shaun has to get to grips with his game.
Very reminiscent, this, so far at least, of what happened at this very venue a couple of years ago when Mark Selby played wonderful snooker to beat Stephen Hendry in the semi-finals. Met O'Sullivan in the final and just didn't fire.
9.
Well, remember what he did last evening against Marco Fu. 5 on the bounce. Nearly 500 points without reply. That was incredible stuff. You need something like that now here. He's got to be doing it quickly.
$15.
Murphy's pot success rate, though, simply has to improve. 72% at this level is substandard.
And again, could have done a little lucky nudge there. He has a red to the left as you watch the replay. One to the middle, but neither are that easy, actually. Especially when you've missed a few already and you're 5-0 behind. Well done.
21. $27. 28.
Shaun's the highest break of the match so far. There's only a 32 in frame 4. He's got to start knocking in the big stuff now.
Yes, it's very unlikely you're going to come back against O'Sullivan in
35.
bits and pieces.
$36.
Having to hold the red to the, I think, the yellow pocket. Actually, if he goes to the middle, he's going into the pack.
43.
Well, he should be taking this to the yellow pocket. Well, again, another chance gone.
Shaun Murphy 43.
But it's not too bad.
Touching ball.
Wasn't too close to the pocket, but it's been declared a touching ball, so Ronnie can play away from this red, put the white anyway on the table. But as regards Shaun Murphy, he just hasn't fired yet, but he's running out of frames. Well, it's bounced off the cushion. Ronnie will take this red onto the right corner. Can just drop this in for the black. He's not missing too many, Phil, but he's not being put under pressure either.
Well, when O'Sullivan's spotting from distance, he is even more formidable than normal. he's missed what was a quite tricky black across the top cushion, in fairness to him, especially playing for position as he has done.
The danger for Ronnie here, of course, from his perspective, Phil, is to take his foot off the gas. 5-0 the lead. He knows that Shaun's not punishing him for his mistakes. That will be his danger, really, if he gets a little bit complacent. So another chance here then for Shaun. Might be going into them. Well done. Well, there's one to the green pocket. Not sure if there's one to the top corner here.
8.
Should be able to get back onto the black from this one though. Don't know if any of these reds go, but he's got the ankle to split them if he wishes. Well done.
Yes, in the first 3 editions of this tournament, when the shot clock was introduced, O'Sullivan whitewashed
16.
opponents in the final. Mark Williams 6-0, Stephen Hendry 6-0, Jimmy White 7-0. Almost certain now, though.
17.
1 ball away, in fact, that this will not be a whitewash here tonight.
Green ball.
He's nominated the green. Yes, that was spraying ball. He could do with an extra red here though, just to make sure. And it's not perfect.
20.
Ronnie only requires 1 snooker here. So he really needs to pop this one in if he can. Ronnie still has a half chance.
Shaun Murphy 20.
Yes, O'Sullivan doesn't carry on when it's a lost cause, but 1 snooker needed. Of course, it's worth continuing.
1. Nine.
Got rid of the easy 2 reds. That's a great shot. Touch of side on the cue ball. He could get another red and black here, then try and lay the snooker with the final red.
$17.
Just depends where he positions the cue ball here. Well, I assume he went to nudge it towards the middle, of course, and might be looking at another red-black
24.
here.
Well, of course, Mike, if he can clear down to the blue, there's a natural snooker in behind the pink.
Yeah, but he's cutting down his options then, isn't it? I'm sure that he'll be playing the snooker a little bit earlier than that, Phil. Possibly. Might leave it to the blue.
32.
I think he might have heard you. He's got the perfect angle on the green to brown.
He does not take advice from me.
Don't be so sure.
37.
Just landed a little bit straight on the brown here. Well, it's not perfect.
41.
Oh, what a great shot.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 41.
He's got got the snooker, but it's pretty easy to hit because the blue is near the side cushion. Shaun will not miss this. But it was a great attempt. Could have done with the white tight to the pink. Well, as we said, this is a massive frame for Shaun Murphy, but if Ronnie can get this one as well and make it 6-0. Well, he hasn't got the snooker this time, he's left it. Well, Ronnie will be a little bit disappointed with that shot. This to make it definitely 5-1 then.
I think we can safely say that the whitewash at least has been averted.
Five, and the frame, Shaun Murphy.
Shaun Murphy on the board for the first time. He hasn't made a half-century break yet. He's not firing on all cylinders by any means, but he's still in there fighting.
Welcome back to the Paddington.com Snooker Premier League final and the conclusion of this year's competition. Mike Hallett and Phil Yates will discuss and dissect tonight's final frames for you.
Thanks very much, Andy. Well, Ronnie O'Sullivan within 2 frames of winning this tournament for the 9th time. But snooker is a funny old game indeed.
Frame 7.
He's lost
Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
a number of finals from well in front. Nothing quite like this. But I think it's perilous to write Murphy off just yet.
Yes, he's in the driving seat at the moment, but if Shaun can find some momentum here, he can put a lot of frames together in quick succession, as we saw yesterday. He has struggled here this evening so far, the defending champion. It was important he got that last frame on the board. But he's got to cut out the mistakes. There might have been another one there. Ronnie straight back in.
Well, one of the backbones of Murphy's game, as you well know, Mike, is potting from distance, and when he's not doing that on a regular basis, he can be vulnerable.
In fact, Ronnie's Achilles heel this year has been that long potting, Phil, but he seems to have picked up in that department over the last few weeks.
The first time I noticed a real change was when he played Mark Selby in Llandudno in the final qualifying night of the Premier League, won that match 5-1 and potted some beautiful balls.
7.
I never thought it was a matter of technique with him. I always thought it was a matter of confidence, and he seems to have it.
8.
And trust me, he won't be hanging about. He'll want to get this match over and done with pretty quickly. He'll go into them here. Oh, he's missed the blue. How many times do you see him miss the blue off the spot like that?
Very rarely, but that was extremely fortunate when the mistake had been made. There's the blue going astray, and look where the cue ball came to rest. A wry smile from O'Sullivan, knowing full well that he's got away with that in a major way.
Shaun's played a good shot there, though. to avoid the reds, and he did do. And there's the acknowledgement, I should say. Little tap on the table from Shaun Murphy. Well, that's a good shot from Ronnie as well. It's the defending champion that's right under it at the moment.
Good original safety from O'Sullivan. Good return from Murphy. But just short of pace, not quite under the ball cushion as desired.
Yeah, there's a half chance here to the left corner pocket for Ronnie. Well done. But the high value colours are tied up.
Yes, O'Sullivan took a sneaky look to see whether the pink would pot. Quickly discovered it wouldn't. And that is the most prudent thing he could have done.
O'Sullivan 1.
Well, again, last evening, I think that might have gone in. Not tonight. It's not happening for him.
One.
Chance here for Ronnie just to clear things around the black spot. It's a little crowded.
Didn't want to glance those two reds together. There are still ample balls for him to build a substantial lead.
Well, I suppose you've got to say, Phil, that if this goes 6-1, no way back for the defending
16.
champion, because he hasn't showed any form at all this evening. Well,
17.
crept in the side door.
$24.
He's covered the pink. Might have to be the yellow.
He has a testing pod coming up, whatever he takes on.
I'm just wondering when they can see enough of this pink, actually.
Timeout.
Had a quick look at it. He's called a timeout. He feels he can see enough of this to pot it. Well done.
Ronnie O'Sullivan's 10th Premier League final.
31.
7 in a row. He's going for his 9th victory in this tournament that was described by Shaun Murphy earlier on as the Ronnie Cup. It's been the Ronnie Benevolent Fund. If he wins tonight, his earnings from this event since the shot clock was introduced, a little over £400,000.
$38. 39. 45. 46.
O'Sullivan arrived here this weekend without a title, an unusual state of affairs for him. He's getting ever closer to putting that to rights.
Seemed to get a little bit of a heavy contact there, but he'll play the red to the green pocket.
52.
This is frame ball. It's about to go 6-1.
53.
The only question in this frame now, can he make what would be his 10th century of the tournament?
68.
Yeah, not quite sure what Ronnie played there. He's going to have to play a plant. And just look at the distance between them. But he's done enough already.
68 on the frame, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Indeed, Murphy missed a red from distance. We've seen that before this evening. O'Sullivan pounced with 68. One more frame needed for the title. The 2010 edition of the partycasino.com Premier League snooker has been the best ever, and Ronnie O'Sullivan is now on the threshold of being the champion again, of regaining the title from the man who deprived him of it 12 months ago. Five down, a possible 6 to play for Murphy. Not like an enviable position to be in.
Not at all. And again, he's left a half chance here for Ronnie, although he has got the white closer to the back cushion this time. No problem. Full of confidence.
1.
Well, he's on the yellow to the middle. No problem. Well, that's not bad actually, because he's got this red with an angle to get over the back. Left-handed. It's a bit of a stretch though. Oh, he's caught the red.
4.
Just caught the red. We'll play off the black for safety here.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
Well, the red, the left of the pack is loose, but I think he might be playing a safety off another one. No, he's gone for it. Oh, he put all his eggs in one basket there. And I don't think he's covered the red to the centre.
Well,
It's got yellow or brown here. Well, he's attempted to get on the red left of the black here, and it looks pretty good, although he still has one to the centre.
5.
Looks like the black goes as well. Well, it's definitely looking like a bad day at the office for the defending champion.
14.
Yes, on occasions when you play Ronnie O'Sullivan, you can be philosophical and say there was not a lot I could do to stop that. But tonight Murphy has had his chances. Look at the first frame, missed that very straightforward pink.
Yes, and things have definitely slipped away
21.
since that miss. These guys pretty good at just shutting those sort of mistakes out, but there's also been others as well,
22.
as Phil has mentioned. Too many, I'm afraid. And Ronnie O'Sullivan has delighted his fans here. And Hopton-on-Sea have come out to see him, and he's not disappointing.
I have to say, Mike, I think it's very good for snooker that O'Sullivan seems to be back in the groove.
Yeah, absolutely.
30.
And of course, as every snooker fan knows, in 6 days' time it's the UK Championship, and so
36.
you know, he's the man to beat.
37.
Just read my mind. Little cannon here. No, that's okay. He's left the white short. And go for the pink.
44.
But I'm sure the defending champion really will be so
45.
disappointed with this, especially with his performance yesterday against Marco Fu. He played brilliant in those final 5 frames. But he hasn't produced this evening. Although Ronnie's run out of position there a little,
51.
and he's not over the winning line yet.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 51.
The position of the remaining reds on the table very much in O'Sullivan's favour, but it was a surprise, as Mike said, that he didn't go on to win the frame right there and then.
Just we played a little cheeky diagonal double there. It's gone in. He was on the black. It would have been over then. Great shot. 1. That's better. But there's a lot of work to do here. Can Shaun Murphy keep this match alive? That is the problem. Red tight on the side cushion, the other two off the cushion, but he has to nudge that red off that side cushion.
12.
Great shot.
13.
Forward thinking. He had the angle to nudge that red from that side cushion. Now he does have a chance to win the frame at this visit.
$90.
Yes, he's under pressure, but he has a chance.
$27.
I've just got this in for pink or black, and then he can get right in behind the red on. There's a lucky kiss. Ooh,
28.
lucky. tried to avoid the blue there. He's out of position. But there's still only 27 in it, so just play a good safety or possible snooker.
Shaun Murphy,
not
28.
Quite got the snooker. I wonder whether Ronnie be tempted with this one. Not quite sure. I wouldn't have thought so. But still plenty on for Shaun here. It looks good. Looks like it's a snooker. Off the side cushion. He's got to get this safe, otherwise it could be all over. Well done, but it's going towards the corner. Is it going in? It needs to bounce, a big bounce. Well, it could have been worse.
This is a very difficult pot, and if he misses it with the position of the colours, it could well be frame over.
But if it goes in, it could be match over. Now then. Well, he can pot it to either corner pocket, and I think he's looking at the right hand corner. No, he's missed a lot of those this evening, too many.
O'Sullivan missed the last red and got away with it to a large degree. Murphy's missed and got away with it to an even greater degree.
Good weight though. Again, this looks pretty good. It's like a snooker, but he can get between pink and yellow and come off the back cushion. Easy to hit, but not always easy to get safe. Now then, here is a definite chance to win the frame and match.
If he delivers the cue straight, give him the trophy.
So there, what a great pot. Wow, that is just winning the title. He came here determined, Phil, didn't he?
8.
The name Ronnie O'Sullivan should have Premier League champion after it. That status is in the process of being restored.
13.
The shot clock was introduced in 2005. Since then, he's won 6 of 7 Premier Leagues. He's won the tournament 9 times
17.
in total. There are 2 Ronnies in snooker.
28.
The one we've seen this weekend is the one that blows away the world's best.
28. Frame of the match.
5-1 he beat Neil Robertson in the semi-finals. 7-1 he's beaten Shaun Murphy in the final. He's back where he loves to be as the Premier League champion. Congratulations to the Rocket. What a talent.
Right on the table.
Let's go over to John MacDonald out on the floor for the presentations.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I do believe Ronnie O'Sullivan is officially a genius. What a final indeed. And now it's time for our presentation. And on behalf of Potter's Leisure Resorts, would you please welcome Brian and Judy Potter. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the runner-up, receiving £36,000, the magician, Shaun Murphy. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the coveted trophy. £59,000, but most important of all, the title of PartyCasino.com Premier League Snooker Champion, the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan! And now, ladies and gentlemen, the presenter of the show, it's the Gal Force, Andy Goldstein.
Have a few words with the newly crowned champion. It's been 14 months. Can you remember what it's like?
Yeah, you know, it was tough. You know, I just want to congratulate Shaun on a brilliant tournament. You know, last year he won it. This year got to the final. So, you know, he's made a brilliant defence of his title, and you know, I was just. So he's had a great tournament, and you know, he's going to keep doing well in this tournament because it suits his game. But you know, I was just pleased to be able to play well tonight and kind of get amongst the balls and make a few breaks.
You're obviously enjoying the game at the moment. Again, you've got a few exhibitions with Jimmy White coming up. The UK's just around the corner. You must fancy your chances to win the UK again.
Well, it's nice to be going in there with some confidence. You know, having won a tournament. You know, I've had beat some good players in this tournament. So, you know, the UK different story though. You know, this has got a shot clock on it. You know, to win the UK, the Masters or the Worlds. You know, it's a different ball game altogether. So, you know, I think I need to improve in some slightly different areas. You know, because it's about consistency, and so you know, but hopefully I've got a chance. You know.
Okay, we'll have the final word with you in just a sec. Ronnie O'Sullivan, everyone, the champion. Commiserations, Shaun. I know it's such a cliche, but for every winner there has to be a runner-up. Commiserations. Just wasn't your day today, was it?
No, I wish I hadn't done that half marathon this morning.
They're called Snickers bars now, you know that.
What a difference a day makes. I mean, I came here playing well. Been playing well in the EPTC events. Played well last night, and you know, just didn't happen. But you know, we all have bad days, and Ronnie deserved the title. He's played the best throughout the tournament, and on the night, the best man won.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say you didn't really get the rub of the green. You really did yesterday. You played absolutely brilliant. Today, it wasn't there. Is there a moment in a match when a frame goes against you and you think it might not be my night tonight?
Well, I said last night about how you know, one ball, even as early as the first frame, can set the scene, and that happened in last night's match, and I think it happened again today. You know, I had a good chance in the very first frame and missed a pink that, you know, I can't remember him missing a pink like that, and I thought that set the scene for the entire match. You know, I had good chances but just wasn't able to put them away. But you know, at this level, that's what you've got to do.
And finally, Ronnie said he needs to improve. Does that worry you? I mean, you've played with the best, you are one of the best. How good do you think this kid is? Well, I say kid, you know, he's getting on a bit now, but how good is he in the game?
Well, I forget the last time I saw him miss a ball with his left hand. You know, I can play a bit with my left hand, but nowhere in the league of Ronnie. It's a great opportunity to compete against somebody like him in events like this, because he is the benchmark. You know, he's not the number one at the moment, but you know, we all know that he is, on his day, when he wants to be, he is the top guy. So, you know, it's a good chance to come up against him. Today wasn't my day.
It wasn't. Commiserations, ladies and gentlemen, the runner-up, Shaun Murphy. Ronnie. Obviously the final word goes to the champion. I've said before, you're obviously enjoying your game. You've got 3 world titles under your belt. Have you set a standard? Do you want 4, 5 and 6?
I'd love to get 4, 4 or 5, as many as I can get, really. That's why you play the game, and I got 3 already, so it'd be nice to get 4. But like the competition's tough, but I'll keep trying.
Okay, congratulations, the brilliant Ronnie O'Sullivan, the Premier League champion of 2010.